Hello, family. I hope that this video finds everybody safe and well. Tonight, I want to come on here and talk about fear. Yesterday, one of my biggest fears, as Job said, came upon me. I was out and about with a friend. We were checking out a community garden because we want to garden together, and we're walking around the garden and looking at other people's plots of land and what they're growing. And this beautiful red pepper caught my eye, and as I walk over to it, a swarm of wasps just come at you, girl. And you got to understand, I have been petrified most of my life of bugs, and especially wasp. Okay, friendly little roly-polies, I'm good, but wasp, no. And so here I start flailing, and I get back to where she's at, and I could feel the pain. I could feel the sting. I had been stung. And so I tell her, I said, listen, sis, I probably need to go home. I was going to toughen it out at first, but I was like, I probably need to go home. She asked me, are you allergic? And I was like, I don't know. I've never been stung by a wasp before. Now, mind you, I've had wasps, I've had some wasps in the house before, but I was able to kill them. No problem. Never stung me or anybody in my family. So I just figured that wasn't in God's plan for me. He wasn't going to let his baby girl get stung by no wasp. And it was interesting because we had decided on our plot of land. I had just prayed over it, dedicating the land back to God. And here I go get stung by wasp. I was like, okay, what's this about? So I'm driving home. I don't know if I'm allergic or not. So I'm driving home, and I was like, I just heard in my spirit, breathe. Just breathe. So that's what I did. I just commenced to breathing. And I asked Papa, I hear in my spirit, I think I told him something like, well, I don't even know if I'm allergic. He said, well, how are you going to find out unless you get stung? How you going to find out unless you get stung? You won't know unless you get stung. So I got stung. And so he's just like, breathe. You're going to be all right. Breathe. And so then I asked him, I said, well, Papa, what's your perspective on this? Because he knew I wasn't happy about this. And he reminded me of Paul. Now, in the book of Acts 28:5, Paul was bitten by a viper. And by verse 5, Paul is shaking off the viper. And the word says that it had no ill effects on him. So Papa said, what you gonna do? Well, I guess I'm gonna be like Paul then. And I'm gonna shake this thing off. I'm gonna shake it off. Because he knew that I was petrified by wasps. And yet and still one of the things that I feared the most, here it had come upon me. So I came home, I took my Benadryl. My girlfriend later called me and checked on me. She said, you doing okay? And while her and I were on the phone, I sensed in my spirit, because I was sitting right here at my desk, and I heard, now look up the benefits of wasp stings. Look up the benefits? So I went on ahead and I looked up the benefits. Do you know, I found that there are therapeutic benefits to wasp and bee stings. In fact, one thing I read said that there are anti-inflammatory properties to them. Anti-inflammatory properties? That the sting could actually work out for my good? The sting could actually have some benefits for me? I was like, I said, listen, I'm about to get up from this seat and I'm about to go shout right now. Because that was unexpected. I had expected that would never happen. And yet it had happened. So this morning when I woke up, I had to thank Papa. I said, Papa, thank you, because I've come to trust you. Thank you for the wasp sting. I'm thanking him for the wasp sting, number one, because I have had to face one of my biggest fears. Had to look look at it dead on and decide, was I going to allow that to bring me down? See, the weapon had been formed against me, but it was up to me to decide if it was going to prosper. And yet the day before yesterday, I had decided, no, I'm going to be like Paul, and I'm going to shake this thing off so that it wasn't going to bring me down. It wasn't going to impact my relationship with Papa, because I had set up an expectation of what his goodness looked like. And yet it didn't turn out that way. I had to face the wasp. I had to get stung. I got stung. He allowed it. And yet it had no ill effects. And yet it hurt, but it didn't bring me any harm. It didn't bring me any harm. It hurt, but it didn't bring me any harm. So I got home, took my Benadryl, and then this morning I looked at the back of my leg, because yesterday there were 2 webs on the back of my leg, but this morning I looked at my leg, looked like nothing is wrong. So yet and still, I don't even look like what I've been through. I don't even look like life has stung me, and yet it has. But I don't look like it. So I want to encourage somebody tonight. Yes, the weapon will get formed, but you determine through your choices, is that thing going to bring you down? You know, I had a girlfriend text me. She said, I hope you have a wonderfully well day. And I was like, well, I'm not sure if this is a wonderfully well day, because I just got stung by 2 wasps, or 1 wasp twice. I'm not sure if that makes this a wonderfully well day. However, once Papa began to start speaking to me and encouraging me to be like Paul and look up the benefits and tell me to breathe and take the Benadryl, I knew I was going to be all right. I knew then. I said, hold on, Felicia. You have a choice on whether this day is wonderfully well or not. And I texted her back. I said, yes, sis, I am having a wonderfully well day, because that was my choice. I wasn't going to allow this thing to bring me down. And I told Papa, I said, you know what? I didn't think you were going to allow this to happen. And he told me, he said, you put expectations on me. All you got to know is that I'm good. Is that I'm good. You stop trying to figure out what my goodness looks like. You just know that I'm good. So I said, okay, all right. So I picked myself back up. And this morning, he and I, we good. We're good. We were good yesterday. He just had to work with me a little bit. And that's what he'll do. He'll deal with you, but he'll do it so kindly. He'll do it ever so kindly. So I want to encourage somebody tonight. You too may be facing one of your biggest fears. It's come upon you now, and you didn't expect it. You didn't think God was going to allow you to have to face it. That wasn't part of your plan. But yet and still, here it is, today, tonight. I want to encourage you to know that you too can come through it. You can come through it. You can face it. You're stronger than what you think. Yes, you are. You're stronger than what you think. So you're going to be all right. Just know that you are not facing it alone. Ask him, talk to him through the whole process until you see him bring you right on through, till you see the light of day. It's going to be all right. So I just wanted to encourage somebody today. That fear does not have you. Don't you let your fears have you, because he did not give us a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and of a sound mind. Walk in that. And sometimes, beloved, we don't even know to walk in it until we have the opportunity to face that thing which we feared. And now that I've faced the wasp sting, I see I survived it, and I'm stronger than what I think. So I encourage somebody today. I hope I've used my words well. Have a wonderful Labor Day weekend. I love you. Until next time. Bye-bye.